So it all started when a friend of mine, Seal Rodriguez, posted a plea on Facebook who was contacted by a neighbor at first. Well, she said that somebody saw a dog laying lifeless on a neighbor's backyard. No food, no water, no shelter. This is 100 degrees outside, and she asked for help. I myself happened to be leaving the house. We were 8 minutes away, so we were the first to respond. My plan was just to go there and make sure the dog was okay. I did not think the dog would be dead, but so when we got there, the neighbor was washing his truck. Now, I approached the guy. I always do my best to make a tense situation less tense. So I asked him, hey, how's it going? I saw this post on Facebook. I'm just coming to make sure the dog's okay. So he went back to the backyard to check. What made it frustrating was that he came out and jokingly said, yeah, the dog's dead, laughing about it. I didn't think it was funny myself, but 5 minutes later, Precinct 5 shows up with about 5 vehicles, and that's when he knew he was in the wrong. The story that he told us was that this is his son's dog. He hadn't checked on the dog in 2 days, so this dog was hungry, thirsty, again, no shelter, nothing, for 2 days. There were people all inside the house. There was about 8 people who came outside that day. One of these people could have easily just checked on the dog. And as we're coming up to the house now, you can see that this is a beautiful neighborhood. Brand new fencing, somewhere you'd never think that something like this would happen. Because you don't think that something like this would happen, people don't really take the time to look, to recognize all the signs that are there. This happens anywhere. It's not subjective to one neighborhood. It just really brings back all the frustration of that day, that again, there were 8 people inside the house. Somebody could have easily saved this dog's life. He died of heat exhaustion. Very easily preventable with water, a little bit of shelter, just something to help. And it all happened here, where just someone posted a picture of the dog laying down and a plea on Facebook. So when I walked up, I saw a lifeless dog on the floor. Again, 2-foot tether, no food, no water, no shelter, and right behind him was a small enclosure, a 2-by-2-foot enclosure with another Chihuahua inside. No food, no water, again, 100 degrees outside, and luckily we were able to save him, but he was on the verge of heat exhaustion as well. And clearly the person could afford a new fence, which indicates that they have the money to provide for their pets. They just didn't. So I'm glad at least this person did put that plea on Facebook and gave us the opportunity to save one, and use Rocko's story as a projection for all other dogs in this situation. Again, this is not subjective to one neighborhood, and this happens all the time. A lot of the people are just uneducated in both animal welfare and in school. I mean, a lot of people that we talk to here drop out in middle school, and there's a lot of addiction in these areas. So people come here and they don't get out. There's a lot of people who just come and become squatters and live in the abandoned homes, and a lot of the dogs here are just chained, no food, no water, day in and day out, every day out of the year. Sometimes we come and we find them dead, you know, just there. The owners don't even bother to move them. That's when we come and we'll get rid of them and, you know, properly dispose of them. And it sucks because there's been times where we go and they're just dead in the cage. You can tell they suffered, nails bleeding because they try to claw themselves out, no food, no water. And as you saw, we went to that house where we've already taken about 10 dogs from this person, and you saw there was more dogs right there. And one of the ones had an embedded collar, and that's an all too common sight here. A lot of the people actually love their dogs in their own way, and that's their way of showing it by just keeping them, which again is not right. You know, it's not what we consider love, but you know, there's addiction here, and that's what is the norm to them. I've talked to some people here and they said that, well, this is how we grew up. A dog was just an object, and to have him chained is normal. You know, it's getting cold now. People say, well, you need to put your dog inside. The houses here are not much better. The only thing we can do is try and do our best to provide some kind of care for the animals here. If we can't help the people, well, we at least can help the animals.